My mom told me to spend Christmas in the servant's cottage behind the garden, not because it was cold, because I was bad for the family brand. 20 minutes later, her billionaire in-laws recognized me as the man who saved their son's life, and my parents' dream imploded in front of everyone. For years, my brother Julian was the golden child, and I was the problem. He wore sharp suits and talked in stock options. I showed up with paint-stained hands because I rebuilt community spaces and taught kids in the rough parts of the city to paint murals. My parents called that embarrassing, so in public, I was always studying abroad or not feeling well. That Christmas Eve, my dad slapped a check on the kitchen island, $1,000, like he was tipping a waiter. Take it, stay at a motel. We told him Julian is an only child. My mom finally looked up. Stay out of sight, she said, or don't bother coming back. So I walked out to the old stone shed. I turned into a studio. No heat, no tree, just me and the muffled string quartet from the main house. I told myself I wouldn't go inside. Then I remembered my portfolio on the library desk, months of hospital blueprints I wasn't leaving behind for people who wanted me erased. I slipped in through the side entrance like a ghost. My work coat still had dried paint on the sleeves. The hallway smelled like pine and expensive lies. When I reached the library, the door was open, and the people my parents worshipped were inside old money, perfect posture, and my parents practically folded in half. My father was mid-speech about refinement when Lady Sterling drifted along the shelves. Her eyes skimmed my parents' tasteful, dead art, then locked onto a dusty silver frame they'd shoved behind a vase. It was a photo from a disaster site years ago, me covered in ash, blood on my forehead, holding two kids like I was the last safe thing left. She lifted the frame, and the room froze. "Arthur," she said soft and sharp. "Who is this?" My mom rushed in, voice wobbling. "Oh, just a distant cousin's boy, unstable, ran off to do charity. Shameful, really." I was still in the doorway when Lord Sterling looked up from the photo and saw me. My fingers clenched around the strap of my bag. I didn't move, because moving would make me real. Then everything snapped. First, Lady Sterling screamed, loud enough to murder the music. Next, my dad charged at me, face twisted and red. Then Marcus Sterling cut in front of him, solid as a wall. After that, he growled, "Touch him and you're finished. Understand?" Finally, Lord Sterling stared at my parents like they were rot. Lady Sterling grabbed my shoulders like I couldn't be real. "We've been looking for you," she sobbed. 3 years. Lord Sterling's voice went quiet. "You saved our son in the mountains when the helicopters couldn't land." My mom's wine glass slipped and shattered at her feet. Julian tried to laugh, desperate and pale. "But he lives in a shed. He's embarrassing." Marcus didn't even glance at him. "He kept me alive," Marcus said. "What's your excuse?" My parents suddenly found their tears. They always did when it helped. "We didn't know," my dad pleaded. "He's rebellious. He wouldn't listen." My mom clawed at my sleeve like we were close. "Tell them we love you." I stepped back, out of her reach. "I'm the embarrassment," I said. "Remember?" I looked down at my hands, paint under my nails, dirt on my boots. "I wouldn't want to stain your perfect Christmas." Julian's voice cracked. "We're family." I met his eyes. "Family is a verb," I said. "Not a title you use when you're scared." Lord Sterling turned to my father, calm like a judge. "You lied. You hid a hero in a shed and called him shameful. As of tonight," he added, "our foundation is pulling every investment from your company." It wasn't a slap. It was worse. Quiet, instant annihilation. My parents went from future elite to social poison in the time it took the guests to stop whispering and start calculating distance. I grabbed my portfolio from the desk and held it to my chest. "I'm leaving," I said. "I have work to finish." Marcus offered his hand like it was normal. "I owe you a ride," he said. "Anywhere but here." We walked out through the front doors, past frozen smiles and collapsing fantasies. Behind me, my mom called my name like it was a password she'd forgotten. Snow hit my face, sharp and clean. I didn't look back at the house full of tinsel and lies. For the first time in my life, I wasn't cold. I was free.